Another of an occasional whip maintenance video. My name is Pete Gamble. This is my entertainment company, and that's me. And today I thought we'd have a go at how to make a cracker for your whip. Been done many times, and I'm sure I'm not going to add too much to the mystery of it, but it's a fun thing to do and something I encourage everybody to have a go at. Simply because it personalises your whip and gives you an understanding of what works best for your whip and your style of cracking as well. And a good cracker can make a tremendous difference to the way that you learn whip cracking. The whole idea is to get a nice crisp noise, and if you haven't got a good cracker, well, then it makes it difficult. So we start with the basics. When I started, it was always you made a cracker out of baling twine, and then when I went for my first whip cracking lesson, they said, "Oh, use Diablo twine, from juggling Diablo." Well, I've gone back to using baling twine, being an old traditionalist one way or the other, and this is it. This is it. Normally blue, but I have seen pink, and it's a multi-stranded monofiber. That is, it spreads itself or splits into tiny little, actually finer than a hair. That's probably about 3 strands in there, and it comes flat. Where do you buy it from? Farm supplies, friendly farmer. Look into your hedge. Look in hedges in the while you're out and about in the country, and you'll find yourself a hunk of it. This is brand new, unused, but I've used as well. You've got to bear in mind, crackers for whips, the old whip crackers of the day, use whatever was available, even if it was a handful of hair from a horse's tail, or whatever they could find, to actually make a noise itself. And this is a very common item around farms, so it's something that you would use. So anyway, cut yourself a length, and we're talking about 22 inches for a fairly long cracker. That's 21, 22. About there is lovely. Cut it. Put that to one side. And what you're going to do is actually make a twisted cracker. Now, twisting this would make a very, very heavy cracker indeed. So what you need to do is actually split the baling twine. And it splits just by putting your fingers in between, halfway, and pulling slightly apart. Now, if you pull too quickly, it twists a bit too much, and you will never get it undone. You're trying to get it about 50-50. Well, as you can see, I probably got it a third, 2/3, but it's close enough. We're not too fussy about it. We'll take a strand off there. And in fact, that is still, to my mind, a little bit too thick or too heavy. You need a cracker that's going to be light enough to go with the flow of the fall, and not too stiff that it actually affects the way that it cracks, and not too thin as to actually just blow away the first couple of cracks. So it's got to be fairly substantial. So I'm going to still take a little bit more of this, and I would normally say do it in half and then do it in a quarter. So I'm going to take about approximately 2/3 of that and just split it there. You end up with a bit of a mess, it looks like, but it all makes sense in the end. Here's the fibres. They're starting to split already. Even it all up, so you've got even ends. Comme ça, okay. Tie yourself a knot at one end, so you're knotting all the fibres together, and then the easier they are, the better. A bit of a twist. Just a simple overhand knot, and get that knot as far up the end as you possibly can. That's just to hold all the strands together. Okay. Go to this end and do the same. I'm going to show you the traditional way of doing it. Well, there's many ways of doing it. What you can do is forget about the actual knots itself. you would hold one end in your mouth and the other end in your fingers, pull it out and twist it. Alright, but that's all well and good if you've got a good grip like that, but a quick, easier one. Get yourself a hook on the desk. Split this in two and just hook it on the hook. Take the other end, again, split in two. Find a nice simple pencil or a biro. Anything with a smooth and even length. So pencil, you don't want bulges or finger grips or anything else in the way. It'll become clear. And then what you do is just hold that, the actual cracker material, thumb and forefinger, just like that, and you're going to rotate this to twist the fibres up. Sometimes it comes undone and then it starts to twist up. And keep a nice even tension on this. And what you're looking for is bubbles to appear. Oh no, you see I'm losing the end of that very slightly, but we'll just hook that on there again. You're looking for a bubble to appear that shows you see a slight kink here. It shows you it's getting pretty close. And I've found generally that sort of length, if you're doing 50 rotations with the pen or pencil at this end, take one finger, hold it halfway, put the pen by the hook and then let go of this end. It all twists up miraculously like this. Just even up the twists with a little bit of help and then slide that off the hook. So you've got something that looks like this. Slide the pen off there. Again, traditionally, I was always told that you tied one side of the cracker to the other to make the knot as small and as aerodynamic as possible. Makes a lot of sense. And that would be simply do it like that. And you want to leave yourself about 1.25 inches on the end to make a nice fluffy cracker. So you've tied a knot here onto that knot and you pulled it tight. Then you trim off the tied ends nice and evenly, so you end up maybe a touch shorter than I've intended, but about right. And you end up with a cracker that's approximately, what, 6 inches? 6.5 inches long, give or take a little thing. Great general purpose, nice and weight, quite still flexible, not too stiff, so it'll go with it'll go with the actual fall itself. And the beauty of it is when that bit is getting worn off, just tie yourself another knot, cut that bit off, you've got another cracker to keep going for another time. And with this length you can probably do that once more as well before you have to throw it away. So that's fair. Nice light cracker, that's how you do it. So, making a cracker out of baling twine. Thank you. This is Pete Gamble. My company's called A Handful of Hats. Hope that's been helpful.